Look who we have here. Your boy, GRC. I don't know why I always do that, but I kind of see how the YouTubers like get a little flow. Like Sam has his little spiel before his videos. I like do the same thing automatically, but I never like wrote it down or anything. It's really weird. Anyway, guys, the Hexagon Fitness Challenge was amazing. I'm gonna be honest, super honest for a second. Let me put my honesty brain in. I was so truly inspired by how many people took pictures of themselves with their shirts off because to be honest, I didn't expect anyone to do it. I thought a couple people that were in better shape would do it, and that was not really the point of doing it. The point of doing it was really more for people, well, for everyone, of course, but more for people that are struggling in that part of their life in one way or another. Anyway, guys, me and Sam have huge ideas when it comes to fitness. And you guys are trusting in us at this point that we're very dedicated to this. It's Sam's trusting me because I personally have to get, well, if you saw the workout I did today, you would have been like, this dude's fucking cranked. I did the best workout today, just upper body swollen, looking in the mirror, muscles just, it was really good. I had lots of carbs before I even ate a blueberry muffin, which is rare, really pumped me up heavy. But guys, me and Sam have been thinking Sunday sermon for fitness. This will be the place where we come, almost like the webinar per se, for the fitness group. Obviously, everyone can watch, but we're going to have a Telegram attached to. We haven't decided how many people we're going to do yet because I do have to talk about Sam that live on stream. But we're going to think about it. We're going to talk about it live on stream. We will be changing the trajectory of the fitness and cardiovascular health of this community moving forward, and that's a non-negotiable, guys. You know what I'm bringing here every day. The truth. GRC Crypto in the morning. Sam's getting his makeup on, guys. Give him a minute.
Young folks, you dripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Hart. Richard Hart.
Bought my hex from the fucking start. Point one every day we mark. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex, he is mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pull chains out and they'll get me a check. He's gas up and got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Girl flexing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart.
What's up? Good morning. How you doing, brother? Good seeing you. Good seeing everybody in the comments. Happy holidays. Happy Easter. Hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday. Fun day. And you're here.
Do you feel the blessings of the Lord riddling through your cells?
Every day is a blessing for me, dude. It's
sure.
Glorious.
Guys, real quick, while we're talking for the first few minutes, give us any updates on our audio. We're trying to make sure the audio is good for everyone. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you're talking and listening, but you can hear your own voice when you're talking. So it's kind of hard to tell. So guys, yesterday we did a spur of the moment fitness challenge that went absolutely berserk. I was literally like, I'm pulling up a tweet right now. I'm going to tweet it. Everyone send a picture. And now it's still just blowing up. Like I have let's see how many new pictures there are. Yeah, new random people pictures on here. I'm going to actually pull this up and kind of show people what the Hexagon community is all about. If you thought your crypto community was cool, then I think you might want to look in a little deeper at the coolest community, best community in crypto by a long shot.
Every time,
so guys, yesterday I posted
time.
this. What'd you say?
I said every time I'm getting into Twitter over the last 24 hours, the number of notifications I'm getting is awesome. There's so many people are engaging. There's probably more people engaging with this Twitter post than there was in the show yesterday.
Oh, like, no. What? 100 times more.
Yes. Easily.
No, like literally 10, 15 times more. Oh, not this tweet. I'm sorry.
No, it's the other one. But there was something like 250 or 300 likes on this comment.
Yeah, but altogether, if you look into it, there's like 20 pictures in there that have like 200 likes on them. Like separate people's shit.
You want me to pull it up?
Like people, because there was some impressive ass pictures in there, dudes.
Correct.
Why can't I find this?
I'll pull it up on my side. I'll say hi to the chat real quick. What's up, chat? How you guys
say hi to the chat real quick while I pull it up.
All
right, here we are, guys. Real quick. I'm going to run through this real quick. So for anyone who's not listening, for anyone who hasn't watched it, real quick, and then I'm going to give Sam a second. Hexakin before and after fitness challenge. Let's get summer ready. Summer bod ready, I should have wrote. Post the picture you are most proud of your adult life from your gallery. I want to do that because I kind of want to show people you don't really have to blow your all-time high out of the water in order to be a productive member of the fitness community. Me and Sam have kind of dedicated part of our life to that, but I would say in general, getting to a place where you feel healthy and confident is the only place that matters. And whatever that is for you, I mean, hopefully you're not too neurotic about it. And genetics play a big role, guys. So everyone's genetics are so different. Anyone that tells you they can be ripped like me when they're 270, 280 pounds of fat, probably never going to happen, to be honest, because their excess skin anyway it wouldn't tighten up the way you'd want it to. And just because you're aging all the time and there is time involved in all of this, that technically there are people that couldn't look like Sam, couldn't look like me unless they did a bunch of steroids or whatever. But that's not the point of any of this, Sam. It's just not the point of any of this. This has nothing to do with ego. There's 130 pounders in here. There's 270 pounders in here. I'm 165 pounds. I am not no fucking stallion.
But that's the essence. That's the essence of why it's connecting with people in a way, is because it doesn't matter where anybody's best was or anything like that. It's let's just all strive to be together in one movement forwards, and your direction forward is going to be a little bit different than my direction, and everybody's has a little bit different of what their empowerment is. And there's so many pictures on there. There's also plenty of people who just want to like show off and be like, damn, I look good as fuck in this point. But the point of it is everybody connecting to move forward together. Then everybody's end point is going to be different. So what were your thoughts on how to structure something like this?
What, a challenge?
So set up a Telegram and then maybe go live in the Telegram every week, every Sunday or something.
I'll go into my thoughts on that, but I want to just show there's a couple highlights in this. First of all, there's me. I don't like to look at myself too much. Hexy B. I'm going to look at these while I'm going, by the way. Crank and bod Hexy B. Hope you're watching this. Props to you. I would rollerblade with you. Dude. Hex Turbo, he has a really good YouTube channel. This is in his 20s. This is in his 30s. Absolutely cranked. And these are as good as a photo lighting can get, but I mean, that dude's fucking cranked, bro. Look at his triceps popping out. He's definitely
lean. Yes.
Looks great, dude. Fucking, I messaged him. I was like, dude, are you a model? Because I probably want to use your services at some point in the future. Look at this. Young guys, too. I mean, I don't know how young these guys. Look at that wide-ass back. Throwing a little SARMs in the mix. I'm calling you out. First one is 7 years ago drinking beer. Second one is 6 years sober at 40. Second is my peak. Wow. Very impressive, Hex.com, Domek. Hex Crypto Family, I mean. He's been all over the thread, really putting in absolute work. This was Queen Wiki, the 65-year-old African-American programmer who knows more about crypto than anyone I've ever met so far. Like, she's awesome. And look at this. This is her peak.
That's a competition picture. She's lean.
Oh, yeah. She's a competition girl, I bet. Like, the way she was talking, I could tell she was one of the most disciplined people. This is her right here.
Oh, wow.
Topic from
Who's
no
this?
crypto to real financial independence. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Guys, check her
I
out.
like that.
She's
I like that.
absolutely incredible. She's coming on the show soon. And
How's that?
Queen Wiki, if you're watching, I want you on the show like yesterday. And I've already messaged you, so you know that. Guys, I'm gonna go through the comments in 1 second. I'm just gonna walk through. Nice surf shot, brother. Hook me up, dude. Killer surf shot. I'm calling that Ollie's Point. No, I can't tell where that is. Let us know where that. Oh, Panama. Wow, interesting, fantastic. Here's Abe.
I saw Abe's.
Body even when you're on the road.
Somebody messaged me and they're like, I know where Avid is, like, because they recognize the street. They don't follow crypto, just somebody that follows my fitness shit. And they're like, oh, I know where that place is in Colombia, like, because he's over there vacationing for a period of time. And they're like, I recognize that.
Jenny from the block, looking good. Look at this guy, explosive, boom. This dude from fat drunk,
awesome transformation
to tipped beast. 123 days from 205 to 160 even. Oh my God. Beast mode. Dude, what the fuck? Some of these dudes look like UFC fighters. Looking good. This is very attainable. We can get right back here right quick. Looking good. Beast mode.
Bro, go back to that last one. The dude above there, dope hair, bro. That's awesome. The guy with the long hair down one. That one right there, dope hair.
Like his hair. And this one got a lot of hype. Whoa, 215er on Hex. She was throwing her stuff around. We were getting a little excited last night. She looks great. We're going to be PG on here, guys. Family-friendly show. That's Motley. What in the fuck is growing on his back? An absolute gorilla.
Is that actually a picture of Motley, you think?
Yeah, that's Motley right there.
Nice.
Yeah, so guys, and there's the beautiful and always awesome baby siren, Hex Siren. She's amazing. Hexakin girl. I mean, God, I got to close this down because there's like 100 more, but like, dude, there's so many.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
So maybe
awesome.
setting up a framework of like the starting point for everybody, whether that's a picture for their starting point or maybe in Discord, everybody can put their before pictures into the starting section. It is a little loud on your end there, moving that stuff around. Everybody has a beginning starting point or measurement period, and then check-ins on a weekly basis that they just submit, and we can have it all just in a private Discord or private Telegram group, all separate, and hold everybody accountable and do a challenge. That would be a ton of fun. I'm almost to my goal, and then I can start cutting too, which will be fun. Bob Lagai in the comments morning saying, I'm sorry for the late comments. I was catching up on 2x. What's good? That was probably pretty intense to catch up because we're already talking at 2x at the speed we go sometimes. Alan, good morning. Rip Texans, there's lots of Rip Texans, and there's a ton of people who are into fitness, right? The cool thing about the Hexakin community, as well as like that space within Richard Hart's ecosystem, is that, and could be in other areas, but specifically in this area, that everybody seems to be interested in just self-improvement in general, which I love because it's something that I've been focusing on for years and years. Crypto Compassion, what's good? Chad in the house, how you doing, brother? Chad left a photo in there too. Chad is fucking ripped, looking good. He said it was from last year, I think. Space Case, how you doing, man? Happy Easter to everybody. Happy Easter to everybody. Thanks for tuning in on this oh so holy day. Par Excellence, good morning. Hexacore or Hector S, how you doing? How is everybody doing today? We're looking forward to some good shit today. So how do you think you want to structure something with a challenge, and then maybe we can help provide any type of value we can by doing like a live thing in there?
First thing we have to do is we have to make a Telegram group. So I'm going to make a Telegram group today for the Hexakin Fitness Challenge, and it's just going to be
if anybody wants to make it private and then share it with us, and you want to be an admin, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, anyone who wants to be the admin, you get the automatic alpha. So whoever wants to be the admin, I know you guys aren't having trouble hearing Sam because I know you would have said something because you always say something but I'm having trouble hearing Sam, which is annoying the absolute.
Your mic yesterday, the last couple of days, and did it once today, goes very loud and then comes down. Your mic from me to hear when I'm hearing you.
It's just I always ask people and they never. I always just assume the best because they don't say anything ever, and I usually say stuff about people's audio right away.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay? Can you hear GRC okay?
Yeah, is it loud? Is it pronounced? Hear you guys just fine. Yeah, I could tell it was just my side. So let me play around with it for 1 sec. Just keep talking to them and ponder some ideas about the fitness challenge, what we could do once we get the Telegram group. Guys, what we're going to probably try to do is like in some way provide exclusive alpha or exclusive content to the people that are in the Telegram group for fitness. Right? Obviously, you can tell your friends whatever the fuck you want, and I don't really care if you share it. But in general, we're going to be having conversations at 1 day a week where we all update on our height, on our weight, 1 photo front back, and that's pretty much it with a little talk about how the week went. And if you were just a sour loser that week, just say it. It doesn't matter.
Tank Crypto said, Sam, I hear you fine. Sam is a little echo. Interesting. So anybody else hear a little echo from me? Let me know. Chad, RH shared the Fitz Challenge thread and hex.com Telegram. The one that GRC posted? Chad, is it the one that GRC posted? That's interesting.
RH shared the Fitness Challenge thread and hex.com. Oh, shit. Did he really? Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. RH, why did you retweet it, you stud muffin?
Okay, so it looks like there's echoes on my side because this is a second person. Hexander says it's just the room because this room is basically empty, my office. And then Finn Bear, Sam's echo is just because of his room or the microphone. Interesting. Hey, I'm going to pull this out for a second. That's probably worse, I'm assuming. This is not plugged in. Can you? Yeah, so there's definitely a bit of an echo on my side.
It's exactly the same on my end.
Is it different now for you guys?
That's why it blew up. That's why it blew up because fucking RH was posting it this morning. I was like, why won't people stop being at this shit?
I know, right? Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to make this Telegram's getting too serious. I was like, there got to be so many people. But hold on 1 second.
Okay, so Red Squirrel says no echo. He can hear. Can Finn Bear and Hexander, can you guys still hear an echo now that this is unplugged? Curious to know if I still have an echo in my voice. Ross, Sam's echo is not a problem, you audio trolls. Okay, perfect. I'm plugging this shit back in. Let's get into the fitness.
I'm the only audio troll in this.
I think it's
audio troll in the world, dude. My OCD goes crazy when audio goes.
The trolling definitely comes from GRC, not from anybody else.
Oh no, nobody else gives a shit except me. I'm just a freak of nature, and it pisses me off. Especially when you're in the Twitter spaces all morning talking to dudes from Nigeria. No offense to people in Nigeria, but clearly I would have trouble communicating with them. So I'm always like, their audio is always wrecked, and I'm always trying to learn. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm dropping my audio down just ever so slightly.
Mardo for the win with the $20 super chat. God damn it, my shit doesn't fucking work, dude. It's pissing me off. But
that's right. Jump rope
for the win. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. You are the man. You are awesome. Jump rope for heart is a great place to start for beginners. Jump rope for heart.
Let me check that out. But okay, so if anybody is actually serious about doing a fitness challenge, then okay.
Put a bicep in the chat if you want to join the Telegram group. Bicep in the chat.
Yes, and then we can we'll probably post something about it on Twitter with the link. And when you're in the Telegram group, you're probably need at least a before picture or two with your weight or measurements or both. And then every week doing a check-in. It just takes a second to weigh yourself, take another measurement. If you're serious about that, right? You're actually willing to put in the work, you can get tremendous amount of results. Another thing that we're going to need, we don't need it, you need it, right? If you're going to do this challenge, then you need this, is what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to achieve? If you're putting the picture up there, is that what you're trying to go for? Put it into words, right? Because that's going to be your goal that you're going to start working towards. And it's way more powerful if you put that into words for yourself than if somebody else says that for you. So
I saw Bally. I fixed my audio, by the way, guys. But I fixed
it's about freaking time, bro. It's been 20 minutes into the show and
Bally
you just got your shit together.
Valiant Brand said, yes, Chris. Oh, no, hold on. Not that one. Yo, Chad. I just want to say hi to Valiant. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's all the way on the West Coast, so our timing's usually a bit different. But I've been texting him, and then he texts me, and we always go back and teleform. GRC's manic monologue intros for me. Yes, my manic monologue intros are one of a kind.
You should hear this in the morning before he gets out of the show when we're on the phone. It's awesome.
I'm crazy, dude. It's sickening.
It's awesome. It's great.
What my brain does in the morning is like fucking crazy, dude. My brain.
How you are in the morning was how I was yesterday when I was talking to my buddy.
Oh my god, you were fucking cracked up.
I was fucking excited as fuck. And I was just going.
You were tripping over your words because you were speaking so fast because you wanted to tell them so much shit. That's the worst part. You have to slow it down. But guys, yes, we were onboarding people all yesterday on his show. We onboarded 2 of his friends. And when I say onboarded, we teach them how to learn about Hex. Onboarding does not mean that you got someone to do a 555 stake. That's retarded. Oh, excuse my language. That's silly. Because people need to understand security and everything first. That's why I've been calling out a lot of the people. They can say whatever they want. I'm stupid, this, that, and the other. No, you're stupid. You're stupid because I see people all day long telling people to buy and stake Hex, but they don't want to sit down and talk about security in detail unless other people are around, right? Unless there's 100 other people around, yeah, then they'll talk about security. But are you going to look every onboard in the face and say, if you don't get your security dealt with right now, if you don't understand this head to toe, you will lose your money, most likely over the decade? No, most people don't. They say, get your fucking staker app out and we'll point it at my staker app and then it'll turn on. It's like way more serious than that.
Literally, my buddy's like, hey, I'm ready. Let's put in $500 yesterday before we're finishing the stream. And I'm like, dude.
And you're just like, dude, no.
Don't put money in. Like, learn. Don't do that because you're.
But do you see why I get so crazy? Do you see why?
There's stuff that I'm glad I did it with no money when I'm staking my shit because that way there's things that when I'm actually putting a much more substantial amount of money in over the next several weeks, like that's not going to be an issue for me because now I've been through the process of doing things wrong the first time with a very trivial amount of money. Now I've learned so that I can actually make those adjustments I want to make, but now the bag is much bigger now. So I've learned it with a tiny amount of money and you just pay attention to those things. If you're talking to friends about helping them out, right? Because that's what you're trying to do. And you're like so excited for them to get on board. But remember, like their long-term success is far more important than them putting in some fucking money today for you to be like, yeah, I worked something. Like who gives a shit? Like make sure that their long-term success is ensured by educating them properly about Hex, about security. If it's Hex you choose to, right? Make sure that they understand what they're doing. Because that's going to be
what seed phrases are.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, guys. I didn't have a computer till 2020. I say it over and over again because just because I was in crypto, people were assuming that I knew about cybersecurity somehow. Like,
so you didn't have a computer. Like no. You didn't have a computer.
I had a cell phone. I mean, that's a computer, but I never looked on the web. I was learning how to download pictures for the first time 40 days ago on the computer. Like I did it on my phone, but I never had a computer that I downloaded pictures on ever in my life. Wow. So it's like people's lives are just different, guys. Like the reason I present myself a lot different than a lot of the people in the community is because truthfully, I am a lot different than a lot of people in the community. I didn't play around with computers. I never thought I was smart. I thought nerds were stupid. And, that was kind of my growing up jock. Like, just like, you didn't really think about much other than girls and smoking weed and getting what you wanted. And then as you get older, you experience a lot of those things and you get into a community of people that maybe their lives aren't 100% like that. And your ideas are a lot different, Sam, because you're just like, whoa, this is how my life works. And they're like, no, this is how your life works. And I'm like, well, everyone's reality is different. And the people that are coming into crypto are going to have a different reality than these desk jockey devs and stuff that have gotten into crypto early. Just because that's just the subgroup of people that find crypto. It's not, I'm just happen to be one of the first guys that's just like full on gym rat, like weirdo.
How does Hex Ross know that I have a gal? Just kidding. No, you're 100% right. It's like people trying to get into fitness. Like when I've been doing this 20 years, I get experience, I get build up intuition on the different facets of fitness, because it's not just when people think of fitness, they think of the gym, right? But it's your diet, and it's not just like, oh, you gotta eat healthy. Like, what are the portions of the diet, your macros, your micros, your supplementation? Then, okay, let's do some blood work. Let's take a look at your blood work. Let's start improving your blood work so that you live a healthier life, a longer life, and all those pieces associated with it. Cardiovascular, like, it's so
We're just
broad.
intentional with everything we do now, in a way. It's like we bodybuild, yes, but really, not really. We don't really bodybuild, if you're being honest. All we do is work out, try to get better, and like talk about it a lot. Because Sam couldn't post the best picture of himself in the comments, because the best picture of himself was probably from this morning. Like he's pretty much as good as it gets, usually to date, right? Like, other than if he's getting thicker and he gets a little body mass on, but other than that. So, and I definitely could, though. I went back and found pictures where I was clearly way more ripped than I am.
So okay, tell us what is your, so if we're gonna do something, say 90 days or throughout the summer, right? Say it's a challenge like throughout the summer.
I want to start like in a week so we can get ready for summer.
Okay, cool. I'd like to. I'm at 246 pounds. What I want to hear what your goal is, and I'll tell you what mine is. What would be your goal throughout the whole summer?
175 ripped.
What
like
are you
I am
now?
right now, 165.
So add on 10 pounds, but be leaner at 10 pounds.
Now, probably close to the same leanness. If I added 10 pounds, it would do the trick. When I slim down, your muscles don't pop as much. So you look a little flabbier in some spots, but really, I'm really lean. Like, I look at my legs and I can see my quads and my hamstrings. So I know I'm kind of lean. So It's not really that. And if you ever want to know how lean you are, you look at your hamstrings and your quads and like the stuff when you're just walking around, you can kind of get a good gauge from that, and like up atop your shoulders, and like, you find these good spots where the fat in your body kind of carries. And like, you can tell your body weight due to that little spot, right? Like, you have that little spot in your stomach that holds a little fat, and then when it goes away, you're like, damn, I'm kind of lean.
Yeah. Or you start seeing some. I don't know if you got to that.
What up,
Good morning, Abe. I sent you a message on Instagram. I mentioned it earlier when you posted something on getting to your when he posted into the chat on Twitter yesterday, or tagged us on Instagram. That somebody recognized where you were, brother. So that's awesome. Oh, my goal is to get to 250 first. Once I'm to 250 pounds, be able to do a split, and then I'm going to start dropping body fat, like 250 pounds. Like, think about that.
Would you ever do a competition just to try it again if you haven't already?
I've never done one before. I feel like
I didn't know if you have. It's kind of a waste of time.
Although, so is like buying dumb shit that gets your attention. But yeah, I
don't buy dumb shit that gets my attention.
No, but I bought a Tesla. There was no need to buy a Tesla, but I'm so thankful.
Dude, your whole life revolved around that shit.
But you're correct. But that's because I bought it, though. If I hadn't bought it, and you know how many people that I've connected with because I bought the Tesla? Literally, people would just come. You drive down the street, kids are like fucking waving at you. Like, when was the last time that thing happened? Or like the people that I met through TikTok when I was putting out all that content. Like, what?
Yeah, great to see you, Abe. As always, so happy that you're on vacation, having a good time. It's really good to see you on vacation, because he's work. I mean, I'm sure he's working his dick off on vacation. He probably works all day, every day, just like a good Mexican does. I will load up on my carbs for the next weeks. Let's see what happens. Yeah, dude, see what happens. Fucking why not? I mean, as long as we're paying attention, we're being kind of intentional. It's okay to have a couple weeks where you eat a lot too. Extra.
What is going to be your cutting stack, Sam? From a
Who
drug
said
standpoint?
that, Chad? Chad wants to get into the dirty details. Yeah, let's talk about that, because I've never had a cutting stack before, nor have I ever taken any drugs to promote cutting on purpose. So what are some things that you do for maybe cutting that start elementary and then maybe move towards?
So initially, being 250 pounds, like, I have to eat a lot of food.
You're right back
so
in sweatshirt.
The easiest thing for me to start dropping body fat is just like, be like, okay, cool, I don't have to eat all that extra food to get to 250 pounds. That'll be the first thing. But in terms of drugs and then increase my cardio or just activity, right? It's just walking basically, or using the elliptical at the gym. vacation, funny bro. He is not working. He is 100% on vacation. It sounds like David is. But for cutting, right? So I will drop oils in terms of like, say, cooking. Like this morning, I made some plantains with some coconut oil. So I might still have the plantains, but I reduced the amount of coconut oil I use because fat has like 9 calories per gram versus like carbs or protein. So the fat I just dropped down a little bit. And that reduces the caloric intake per meal just ever so slightly. And then I start a progressive overload for my cardio. There's things for anybody who is trying to burn body fat, though. There is a peptide that is in your body already. It's a GLP-1, and there's an analog of that called semaglutide, and that reduces appetite. So a lot of people like are at least aware that they have a problem with their diet, right? So that's super helpful. Alan Fizz Ama, what is good? $5. Thank you. I don't know how to promote it from my side, but thank you. Guys, we are one bad science experiment away from gravity to change. We'll need new weight goals. Yes, 100%. Speaking about those weight goals, good morning, Georgia. Good morning. You guys are motivating me to start working out. Hell yes. Yes. Semaglutide, peptide that reduces your appetite. It's mainly used for like diabetes and controlling blood sugar. So if you look at like if you look at the literature, sustained levels, like high levels of blood sugar are associated with a bunch of different types of cancer. So not only does this thing drop your, look at Sharp. It's like it's your Christmas best
cold.
or your
I got so cold. Got freezing cold for some reason.
Is it the temperature's cold up there? It was snowing where my family's from the other day. It was like, holy shit.
Still show up my chest there.
We had
Alan Fizz, amen. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Guys, we are one bad science experiment away from gravity to change. We need new weight goals, LOL.
Yes.
I don't exactly know what you mean.
Sandy Beach, happy Easter, but she says that it's used for diabetes. That is correct.
Which drug are you mentioning?
Semaglutide. It's a peptide. So
wow, very good, Sandy. Very good. We love people like you in the chat. Pay attention, very intentful. What is that drug used for? I've heard of it. What's the name for it?
Well, it helps reduce your appetite. So when people are cutting, you can use.
Oh my God, I do not need that thing. That would be the last thing this boy needs. I need MK677.
So I'll be adding an MK677, but using the semaglutide to offset any type of hunger increase. So you put those two together.
Well, I thought people only used MK677s to use the hunger increase to their advantage.
But there also has increase from HGH. So HGH.
I always thought that was negligible to a point after you're not natty, but I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
Well, TRT, like testosterone, is going to be different than HGH. So HGH has this. You see,
well, I know, but I felt like it was negligible comparatively.
Comparatively to taking like real IGF or real
testosterone, like in general, like the benefits from, like I know it makes your HGH receptors or it makes your HGH go up. And I actually had this blood work tested and tried it, and it did actually make your. It did like I didn't know exactly what was occurring, but I looked at the blood work. And again, the dreams that shit gives you is like crazy shit.
Yes,
I think it was that. I think it was that gave me crazy dreams.
So think about that. Put MK677, which increases HGH, which helps reduce body fat. And this is like if you already control your diet, right? So if you don't control your diet, then don't even think about any of the things I'm talking about, right? But then MK677 is a ghrelin agonist, so that's basically increasing your hunger, like what GRC was just saying. So to offset that, you can use something like semaglutide because it's like works perfectly in terms of the side effects. So MK677 increased hunger, increase in blood sugar levels, and decrease in insulin sensitivity. Semaglutide, decrease in hunger, decrease in blood sugar levels, and increase in insulin sensitivity. So they like offset each other perfectly.
Do you take clients on at all?
I try not to. I'm happy to help people, but I generally don't take clients on very often.
Listen, guys, if you're in a dire, I'll take a few people on if they're in situations that they feel they're really stuck in, right? Because and me and Sam would obviously help, but like I'm talking about real situation where you need actual one-on-one care, not like doctor care, but I'm talking about like you need to really someone to break you down. Like it's like paying for someone to help you work through hex. Like if when it comes to like all the peptides and stuff that can potentially help you lose weight that you would never learn about otherwise, would you ever learn about them, Sam? How long would
Oh, no.
No.
Wait,
No.
Nobody has any. Yeah. I read research papers on this shit. Like, that's
Yeah,
like.
there's things in the workout world that are, and I'm going to say this one time, guys. I'm not going to beat around. I don't want you two to get mad at me either. But there's things in the workout community, substances that you have been lied to about your entire existence. Everyone that's ever mentioned these substances to you has never given you proper information, nor have they read any of the research associated with these things properly. Now, they are right about some stuff. Testosterone definitely increases heart problems for sure, but that's not the point. The point is that there's lots of drugs that can help people with lots of things, not muscle related. We're talking joints, we're talking skin, we're talking organ health, we're talking damage from bone breaking, we're talking repair of all these things. There's drugs that they don't tell you about that really help with these things that millions of people have tried and millions of people have researched. And if you have a problem that's really lurking or something that's really bothering you within your body, like I would DM one of us and at least ask a few questions, because there's some things that can change your life. There's some things that I've done in my life with pharmaceutical agents that I never imagined possible. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm doing them now, but you also learn about your body and you learn a lot about what people say and what actually occurs. Isn't that right, Sam?
Oh, and when you said you've done it before, you're not necessarily doing it now, because life is an experiment, so to speak, and we experiment with different things to see. Like I've tested all sorts of different like recreational drugs. I don't do any of them today, but I've tested them because I was like, I wanted to see what that experiment was like. And maybe you're like, oh, definitely don't want to even slightly venture down that route. That's an awesome idea, right? But I just wanted to test that out. Same thing in like what you were talking about with different compounds or supplements or drugs or peptides that you can utilize to impact your health or longevity or well-being.
And nothing to do with fucking muscles. Nothing to do with muscles. Like you guys think we're just trying to get big muscles. Like, and half the shit we learn about, 70% of the shit we learn about, because we learned a lot about steroids a while back, is like new shit about like rejuvenation, BPC, whatever, all that kind of shit that's kind of more fringy that you've experimented with. And it's like there's some stuff that can heal like tendon tears and shit, like at like a 60% rate comparatively to natural. Yeah, and it's like has nothing to do with working out. It has nothing to do with it's like these are research things that they don't really tell you about because they don't want to invest the resources into helping people that much. It's kind of like it's counterintuitive that for them to spend money researching a chemical that helps a lot of people that's cheap.
If you have something that is natural, you can't patent it. So that means they can't make money on it. So what they'll do is they'll take the natural thing, create a derivative of it. So basically take the natural thing, change it in some fashion. So now they have something else. They're going to say it's more potent, right? So that's what their little test is, just to try to show if it's more effective than a placebo, not more effective than the natural thing. But they're not testing against a natural thing. They're testing against a placebo. So you're basically taking this, testing against nothing. Just the person's mind to see if, oh, you're taking a sugar pill to see if it's more effective. Then they'll do it that way. But there's things, drugs like statins, which is what you're going to be, which is common for like cholesterol. But you can utilize something, just a vitamin B3 that doses above 1 gram per day. And remember, like this is definitely not medical advice. We're not saying you should do anything we talk about in these videos whatsoever, right? Crypto related or like health related. Just described how we got to this point in the VAX history. Yes.
You literally just like in a roundabout way mentioned how that occurs in every industry within the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, and God, the more I learn, the more it's just like, oh God, 52 watching, but 38 likes. Like and subscribe. Reminder. Yeah, guys, if you're new to this content, and I'm going to drop a link too. I want you to share that we're talking. Oh God, I got so much.
There's a share button. Once you press the share button, it comes up, and you can press Twitter. You go click on Twitter. It'll take you to your Twitter app on your phone, and then you can just press that. And then when you're over there, you just put @ and then you put Sam, SAM, and my name should come up, Stolt_Stolt, and then you put @Jim Rat Crypto, and you can tag us and post that shit over there.
Yeah, take a second and do that, guys. Smash the like, hit the subscribe if you're new. We're going to be giving the best content and the most dense, detailed content within this whole space as far as frequency every single day. These aren't videos. These are day-to-day updates in real time. Tell me a standalone video gives you more info. It gives you more value than that. I just don't believe it at this point in time in history. And that's why I'm taking the plunge to do what I'm doing, because I believe in the future of live streaming, one. And two, I believe it's the best way to give the people the information in the most acceptable way for them not to get scammed moving forward. Because really all I'm doing here is trying to provide value, so my channel's really good. So what am I going to do? Make sure no one gets fucking scammed like I did and fucking robbed. And I'm going to do it every single day so you have a reminder. So I'm there. This is my life's work now.
Yes. But you just described just how you be successful. You provide value. Like, that's what capitalism is. It like, yes, there's a lot of dark places you can go with it, but what the beautiful way to look at capitalism is that, like, you're not going to give me your $50 for my widget unless the widget is worth more than $50 to you. Right? It has to be worth more than $50 to you. Otherwise, why would you do it? Like, most people are not stupid idiots when it comes to that. Like, there's a bunch of them out there. There's a lot of scammy shit. But today, with the internet and how everything is going on, you win by doing what you were just describing. Tommy Viles, what's up, guys? I'm 31 years old and scored 453 nanograms per deciliter on my test. I think that is pretty low. Any recommendations for TRT natural OFC? I'm not sure what OFC. I think you meant
OTC. Can we pull that one up? Oh, here we go.
Tom.
Okay, so let me give my input, then you give your input. I gotta look at your profile picture. So you look fit. So a couple things, Tommy. One thing you need to understand about it, I'm gonna just be really, really real for a minute, because I tend to do that, and tell you that HRT is a lifelong commitment of learning. I fucking say the same thing about every subject, but it's so fucking annoying. But see, I'm like, that's how you know I'm real, because I say
it's a broken record, because you're just like, you gotta get better. You gotta get better.
If you go down that journey, just know that has to be a lifelong commitment of yours to maintain your health, your micronutrient intake, your blood work, and jamming a needle in your ass or shoulder 3 times a week. So that's not something most people are willing to do to enhance their life. So that's right there. If that shit scares you, just do something else, because that's baseline. I mean, that's just baseline. Like, that's what you're going to have to do. You can't take any pill. You can, but don't even look into it, because it's retarded. And don't take any creams. They don't work. Trust me. And, yeah, so just know it's a lifelong commitment, and it's something that I advise 99% of people not to do.
So I mean, I think that TRT could probably help a lot of people, but I also think improving one's lifestyle, you don't need TRT. Most people don't, unless they really, really want to. So, like, if you're at 400 nanograms per deciliter, that's on the low side. If you look at a scale for total test, 300 to say 1,000. So you're on the lower side of that. How I talk to people about this is go through for the next 6 months to a year and focus on improving your health, your lifestyle. So what does that mean? Like, go through, improve your sleep quality. That doesn't just mean getting more sleep. It could be, but it's also the regularity of the sleep. If you go to bed at 9 o'clock one night and you go to bed at 2 o'clock the next night because it's the weekend, right? Or whatever the case is, that fucks up your hormones, right? So it's going to
everything fucks up your hormones, guys. From guys that know what it's like to be locked in 24/7 for months on end, trust me, because when you're a bodybuilder, you're just wired to do that. If you want to be good at it. Just know, what was the point you were making right before this?
Improve your lifestyle.
Like, just know, like, we were at 100% lifestyle as far as bodybuilding terms, probably before we started using anything. years and years and years. There was years where I was counting my macros. My parents were calling me weird. My brother and sisters like, weird, you're weird. Everyone's like, you're weird. I'd be working out, writing down my workouts for years and years and years on end, eating healthy and going to bed on time. I mean, I went through a drinking phase and all that shit, but like
one thing that you can probably do one thing that I believe you can do that will automatically increase your test levels is go through so your testicles, you know why they're outside of your body? Because they need to be at a lower temperature than your body, right? So if you're wearing tight underwear and something, it's pushing that into your body, right? And if you're sitting at a desk and your legs are always like pushing you against your balls, and that's not the case, right? So one thing you can do is ice your balls. Literally, it sounds weird. This is like some biohacking shit that actually works. Ice your balls 3 times a day for about 10 minutes. First thing in the morning, you just take one of those ice packs that's like squishy that you can mold. It works. It works. You can do your blood work done.
I did not know that's what you were gonna say.
Right? Yeah. No, I was like,
what do y'all go to sleep? What time do y'all go to sleep? I go to sleep roughly, unless I have to want to stream with someone. I like to be within that 9 to 9:30 before 10 o'clock mark would be ideal.
That's like the time I go to bed the most frequent is between 9:45 and 10 o'clock. What I would love to do is get into bed by 9. It just hasn't been happening.
Do you want to know why I like going to bed so much? I'm going to give you a little deep dive into how my brain works. I'm so excited to have the burst of energy that I have when I wake up again that I want to go to bed so I can hurry up to that moment. That's like where I get a lot of my energy is that morning, bro. Like I'm up until about 3. After 3, I'm pretty useless, to be honest. I got to work on that moving forward. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I get excited to go to bed. Like everyone else wants to stay up and do stuff. And I'm like, why in the world would you want to stay up and do stuff when you could go to bed and just fucking wake up and go balls deep? Because I'm a psycho and I'm manic and I'm crazy all the time and I'm blah, blah, blah.
When you get up in the morning, what is that first thing that you do? Do you get up immediately out of bed? Do you look at your phone in your bed?
I'll fuck around with my phone for a little bit. I am not that good with the morning routine because I get up so early that I kind of like negates a lot of that for me. I mean, it could be better, obviously, but it's like I'm up so early, like cleaning shit before it's like 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? So I'm like being productive, kind of just what I do now that I think about it is I just walk around and clean. I'm like, I got to make sure when I start working that everything's really clean. So I walk around and I start picking up everything. Like, I want to make sure it looks as perfect as possible. So when I actually sit down, there's nothing sitting around. It's like the most clean. There's just my notebook, my pen, and my laptop. And it's just like I could just sit there and there's a glass of water and my energy drink or like water or whatever I'm drinking just sits right there. And like I constantly try to get back to this moment where everything's clean and like I have my water and my coffee and my vape and like I'm working.
I got like 2 of these.
Dude, literally all day. I probably drink like 15 to 20 of these. This is a big old cup. And I'm telling you, like I could suck this down 100 times a day. That's why I leave so much. I literally pee like crazy.
Yeah. So the thing on the water. So Georgia mentions for the ladies, and well, this is also for men too. Georgia, thank you for this comment though. Check your vitamin D levels. That is not an appropriate comment. That is talking about your vitamin D levels, like your what you're going to get from the sun or your vitamin D in through the vitamin B. I suffer from insomnia. Okay, so one of the big issues too that also can help with your testosterone. They did a study where they took men and they gave them 3,300 IU of vitamin D for 1 year. Yeah, 1 year. This is men. They gave them for 1 year.
They did this for a year. Wow.
And at the end of the year, one of them had placebo, right? So basically, they had a group of guys. They split them in half. Half got vitamin D. Half of them got
double blind.
And at the end of the year, the group that was taking vitamin D for the whole year had higher total test and had higher free test.
Wow, totally like conclusive.
Mm-hmm. Super obvious. So you have vitamin D receptors in your pituitary, which is where the LH is made. You also have vitamin D receptors in your balls. So that is where testosterone is actually getting made. And like, think about how little people spend time in the sun. Vitamin D deficiency is probably one of the biggest deficiencies in America right now, because I have no idea how many hours in this room right here working. and it's a big thing. So you can get your vitamin D levels. I think it's like OH hydroxy vitamin 3.
He knows I'm smart now. I mentioned double-blind placebo. The only people that look at research studies know what a double-blind placebo is, because it's one of the requirements for like to publish certain. That's what I read, at least.
Like an indicator of the quality of it.
Well, yeah, to be published in the best, like the most frequented articles, you have to have a double-blinded placebo, which means every single experiment has to have a variable group that is only on placebo, but they don't know that. So
and the research
means.
I think the researchers are blinded, and so it's double blinded. So the researchers are blinded. They're both blinded. So the researchers can't be biased in the analysis, and the patients or whatever are also blinded. So there's no like
any researchers of any sorts in the comments of any like research studies on anything kind of nuance. Would love to hear that. You don't hear much about researchers, Sam.
No,
because guess what? They're all in the universities. Guess what? They're all getting ruined.
And they're researching dumb shit. Mostly, but anyways.
Yes, well, they're researching pharmaceutical dumb shit. Yes, that is incentivized for companies to make more money. And guys, if you don't read studies all the time or watch content of people that read studies all the time, you'll pretty much be completely naive to the fact that you can just set up studies to kind of like infer certain information. And
just to sell drugs. They do it. The drug companies do it all the fucking time.
So you can, if you're smart enough, like let's say Richard Hart, for example, a guy who's really smart analytically, he could come up with a way to make an experiment that he knew exactly what the results would probably be. Therefore, he could publish the article with the information that he knew exactly what the study was already, because it's tending toward his product of whatever sort he has. So like 50% of all the shit you read on there, just like 50% of all the shit you read online, is just manufactured pharmaceutical propaganda, really.
I read a study on a SARM, and I'm reading through the study. In the first several paragraphs of a research paper, a lot of times they'll try to create some type of context for like, this is why we're doing this, right? So there's like 12 researchers who were associated with this paper. And in the first like 3, 5, 6 paragraphs, they're talking about, hey, we're doing this research with this SARM because the issues with testosterone injections. And then they try to talk about the issues with testosterone injections. So this study wasn't terribly old. And the information that they literally are putting in the study is inaccurate. And I'm not a researcher. I'm fascinated by this stuff and research the research papers, talk to people. I have a podcast on this. If you guys want to check out the podcast, like this is the kind of stuff
I'd love to go on that one time, by the way.
Yeah, we're
just to talk about that shit. Like totally, I'll be like, hey, I'm more of like I'm coming back into this shit. I want to get more involved in it, because to be honest, I want to optimize everything. And that does not mean adding any drugs to your life. You're so naive if you think that we're pushing drugs in any way, shape, or form on here. We are just, we have done certain things a certain way, clearly different than a lot of people. So our experiences in life are clearly different than a lot of people's. But what we really want to promote is that these daily life habits every single day change your life. No drugs needed. No drugs needed. If you get 9 hours of sleep and eat good micronutrients and have good friends and are honest with your girlfriend and family, like all the time, no matter what, like your life gets really, really good. And it doesn't matter if you have money or not.
My life is already fucking amazing. And money is just going to mean that I get to help more people.
Or do more things. More things. Just like
impact more people. Yes.
But that's the result. But really, it's just a resource so we can make our ideas come to life.
It's a gasoline to the fire, right? Chad mentions here. So this is the only thing that probably makes sense to you, me, and Chad, where other people don't really know this. I forget where it's coming. Do research chemical researchers count? So in a sense, when we're talking about researchers, everybody's researching if you want to progress in life, you should be researching. You should be learning every single day, because isn't that the essence of what researchers are? They're trying to figure out the truth, right? And if you're not trying to figure out the truth every day, like what the fuck are you doing with your life?
That's what, dude. We have to take over everything, even the study. We got to take over like the academic journaling in the future, like 20 years from now. Like we should fucking be the ones that are like paying the people to do
We're funding the studies that are like the actual appropriate studies to fund, right?
Yeah,
like
we don't need Adderall. They'll stop giving kids Adderall when they're 11.
Mm-hmm. And I've had this. I talked to my friend, like testing, like so they're putting forth statins. We talked about statins for cholesterol versus vitamin.
I love talking about statins, by the way.
Vitamin B3 is more effective at increasing your HDL. Than the
God.
Drugs are, dude. Than the drugs are. Or
I do agree with statins for some people that are lazy, though.
Take vitamin B3.
No, I know. I didn't know that until this moment.
Like it's crazy. So I want to do studies like that. You compare vitamin B3 to these other drugs, and then be like, okay, this you can buy at Walmart. It is $3.97. Right? And this shit has more positive effects and lower side effects, and it is cheaper than this thing that the drug companies are selling you, and their affiliates called doctors are pushing it down your throat, right? Do some education and get off of that shit because it's not good for you.
And we can also talk about like, I won't go into the antidepressant talk at all as far as because I think there's too many variables. So I don't like to stay there. I like to stay more at the pharmaceutical stuff for health, just because, obviously our ethos is going to be to probably get off that stuff if possible. But again, from what I've noticed over the years, from withdrawal side effects from antidepressants, they're not manageable. So people don't know how to manage them. There's not enough studies on how to manage them. And people actually can get suicidal as fuck, which is not okay. So any of those drugs, guys, if you're concerned about them, you have to research them a lot. I did them for myself. I was on all sorts of antidepressants my entire life. And I still do take a dopamine reuptake inhibitor called bupropion. But that's just for to help other drugs work better. So I don't have to take as much. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm not going down that rabbit hole. But
I think this might be the perfect episode to go down that rabbit hole. You don't necessarily have to talk about
I don't think you've learned much about that part of it, have you yet?
Well, I do that from the bodybuilding side. Same exact thing. From the bodybuilding compounds and whatnot. Same thing. You can stack different compounds so that there's lots of dudes who are my size, but
Hey, Bullish Ox, happy Easter. Great show today, guys. That's producer Bullish giving us a 369 just to say what's up. Bullish is the man, one of my dearest friends, and he's really opening up in the community, and it's great to see. Like he's talking to all the chats, he's making discords, he's talking to everyone. He's learning the testnet last night like crazy, like a crackhead. All night he learned the testnet, and he's going to do a demo. I don't know if I should drop this. Sorry, Bullish, I'm dropping it. He's doing a demo. He's doing a demo for us live.
He's going to come on the show.
He's just going to run. Well, he might come on, but he's going to run the demo. However he does it, whether it's from behind the scenes or in here. I don't care if he comes in here. He's not going to show his face. But and we're going to be able to interact with him about the testnet while he goes through it, and he could talk too.
Perfect.
So he's going to show everyone in an interactive way, not just like this is how you do this, this is how you do this, blah, 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 because it's too quick. Again, I like to break things down. We're learning how to learn here. We're not teaching anyone anything. We're learning how to learn, right? Like I don't know anything about fucking.
Think of the advantage. Like if you know more than me, but I can learn twice as fast as you, you're fucked in the long run because I'm just going to be better than you.
No, but it's not even that. It's not even learning how people either don't learn or they learn. Like it's like 90% of people just really don't learn. They just regurgitate, and then like 10% of people learn because they realize that other people don't know shit.
Yeah. No, yeah. So many people, and they don't try to learn. Period.
I thought my whole life that everyone knew shit, dude.
And then you start talking to people. This also happens. This also happens in the X community. And you're going to get taught to people whose ego is involved, and they're going to tell you something is the case, either because they truly believe it to be the case, or just because their ego is involved, right? So just be cognizant of it, including us. We say shit that's wrong all the time. Like, don't get all your information one source, but look on the lookout for people who are just always trying to strive to be better, and who you are able to hopefully see that the ego is not there. Like if GRC's like, Sam, you're wrong on this thing, I'm like, cool, awesome. What is it that I'm wrong? Like, can you tell me how I'm wrong? Like, I want to learn. And once you see that people are just actively trying to learn and they're not attached to something that they've said before, like that's what you want to pay attention to. That's 100%.
Martin Hansen says, what's important to know about B3?
B3, so B3 is niacin, right? So one of the things that Sandy Beach brought up is that you can get flushing from niacin. You can get a non-flush. It still works to help with your cholesterol. There's a small subset, so this is a very small proportion of people who take B3 who can get elevated blood sugar levels. So don't think of like, if you take it, you're going to get elevated blood sugar levels. That's very small. It's a very small percentage of people, but you can also just decrease the processed foods you're taking, do a tiny bit more activity in your life. You can think like berberine or things like that.
Hey, Ross says, if you only get your information from one source, this isn't a bad choice. And the reason he says that, guys, is because we're absolutely transparent and open-minded about every single subject that comes up, and our egos aren't involved. We've already gone down. But we've already gone down the ego road. We're bodybuilders, and when you do that, you go through the ego thing. You go through the ego death at some point because you realize it makes no difference, and you're like, "Wow, I'm finally here. I'm bigger than everyone, and I'm ripped, and I look great." And you're like, "Well, nothing changed." You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like it is. Oh, shit, I think my mic just whacked a little bit.
No, you're good. You're good.
But anyway, yeah. So, my ego died with the peak of my bodybuilding career because at some point I just realized like I didn't care anymore as much about the ego part because that's what was driving me personally at the moment. Now it's more so longevity and leanness, keeping light like a feather, able to knock someone out if I have to, kind of like you want to be agile, ready, but like not. I just want to be able to like be physically fit and healthy and do calisthenics and heavy weights that don't hurt my shoulders and shit like that. Nothing crazy. I ain't bench pressing the world anymore. I ain't trying to deadlift anything that's going to impress anyone. I don't give a rat's butt about any of that stuff. Truthfully, it makes no effing difference unless you're trying to have more power for whatever athletic endeavor.
So I've had so many people come up to me over the years and they're like, "Hey, I see you in the gym and you don't lift, you're not lifting heavy weights. Like, what's up?" But you're like, "I'm like a substantially larger than them," because people don't realize like you don't need to lift heavy weights to like get big. You need progressive overload, right? Like you need progressive overload in terms of the stimuli on your muscle, which is just like the stress on your muscle. And if you are progressively overloading your muscle in some fashion, which could be like a bunch of volume, you could be changing the hand position at time under tension. There's like 3 different portions of an exercise that are all almost independent exercises. Like when you're pushing, right? When you're contracting, or when you're contracting versus the eccentric portion versus the actual stretch portion here. Like all of those could actually be treated as separate exercises, which is some portion of progressive overload. So if somebody's like trying to put on muscle size and they're just like, they hear the sayings that like you need to lift heavy to get big, and like these are just fucking false. It's just not true. You do not need to lift heavy to get big whatsoever. You're muted. We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
People don't really understand that progressive overload and lifting heavy are not the same. They're not synonyms, right? Like lifting heavy means lifting heavier weight. Progressive overload means you're doing more reps or weight, but really you're just putting more time under tension at some point with a bigger load, which as you get bigger and stronger will feel more natural. But it really should be closer to the weight you feel like is okay to pump back and forth, if 6 or 7 times. My rep range is so much higher than 8 to 12. I'm sorry. I haven't done 8 to 12 rep range in a while. I'll do like the 80-pound dumbbells for like 17 or 20. Like, that's kind of what I like. That feels better to me than like going up in weight and then doing my form a little worse and then hitting 12 reps. It doesn't make sense to me.
What are your thoughts? So Sandy asked a question and then Hexboy asked a question. So Sandy's question, do you recommend this slow method, lifting very slow and down, up and down? Any thoughts on that? So I would say that if you care about, say, like injury prevention and that kind of thing, not necessarily that you need to lift slow all the time, but if you're constantly going very quick in all your movements, for any exercise, you're
missing some points of tension, and you're also missing some points of tension. Like, I think if slowing down is going to hit different muscles than going fast because you're just exploding off the bottom rather than going the whole way.
Not that one is right or wrong necessarily, but
for different weights, they're different. You want your muscle to burn like fire. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the muscle to burn like a motherfucker, not to hurt, literally to feel like someone lit a match to it. Like it's supposed to be hot, literally, because that's what it's actually getting hot. Real quick, I want to talk a little bit about these numbers everyone's throwing around for testosterone. Guys, we're all over the country here and all over the world. In Canada, it's different. Mexico is different. The units of measurement that they use, nanograms per deciliter, or I don't know what they use elsewhere.
Yeah, I know what they use here. Canada has some like
yeah, totally different. Like divides it by 10. Yeah, so just know, like in the United States, the reference range is 200 to 800. But another thing that people don't understand about testosterone is that I know people with low testosterone that can build muscle a lot faster than me because they just happen to have better receptors for whatever reason. So really, the number of testosterone, in my opinion, is kind of irrelevant because there's people with high testosterone that have low traits of testosterone, and there's people with low testosterone that have high traits of testosterone. As far as like individually, like somebody would describe that person as somebody who was high energy and dominant. Although on paper, they wouldn't necessarily have been that person beforehand, if you know what I mean.
But it will definitely be easier if you raise your testosterone. We're not saying to take drugs, but like to focus on the health pieces, whether it's, vitamin D, putting the ice on your balls 3 times a day for 10 minutes, improving your micronutrients profile, improving the quality of your sleep. So what I do 3 things off the top of my head for my sleep. Four things if you include like going to bed at the same time every night and getting up at the same time every day. But I black everything out in my room, so there's no LED lights showing in my room for anything. I have there's a study in NASA.
Huge.
Yeah, tremendously. There's a study in NASA where they took snake plants. It's called mother's tongue, I think is another name for it, and pothos and another type of plant. And they tested these in a controlled environment to see if they were removing toxins as well as increasing the oxygen in these controlled environments. And the 2 most effective plants in the study, there's been several studies, but in this specific study for removing toxins from the air and increasing oxygen into the air were the pothos and the snake plant. So I have 2 snake plants in my room and 1 pothos in my room to help increase the air quality in my room.
Son of a bitch.
And just something.
He's a sick puppy, guys. He's a sick puppy. He's a self-help sick puppy. It's like when you go too far down the rabbit hole of self-help. It's so fun. It is fun. It's way more fun to like work on yourself every day than like it doesn't matter what kind of pussy you're getting, guys. It's fucking pointless. I promise.
Yes, I've done that before.
Learn about your social skills, of course. Like that's a part of life that you want to handle. But at the end of the day, you gotta be passionate about something when you wake up, or no one's gonna look up to you anyway. So
yes. Another thing is you can actually increase the incline of your bed. So not just putting more pillows in there, so the bed, right, and just increasing the headboard a little bit up. It actually helps with the lymphatic like drainage. So when you think of like your body breaking down during the day when you lift weights and exercise, you're tearing your muscle down, and at night when you're sleeping, it repairs itself. Well, every synaptic like transaction that happens in your brain causes like peripheral dust, so to speak. Like when you cook in the kitchen, even if you're trying to be neat, you end up with a little bit of food on the floor, some in the sink, some on the countertops, on the stove, right? Just because you're cooking and you're active, right? That's what happens to our brain, and that actually heals itself and recycles when we sleep. So this helps with this process. It can help with blood pressure. It can also help with like morning wood. I haven't checked to see if it helps with testosterone, but also just the overall sleep quality too. So that's another thing that I do. I raised up my bed 1.5 inches up. The research I think is like 6 to 8 inches, but I just raised it up a little bit.
We're gonna drop the group. We're gonna drop the Telegram group name in the thread today. I'm gonna do that today while I'm sitting there with my nephews doing eggs and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna make it's gonna be the Hexkin Fitness Challenge. And yeah, we're going.
Hey, what do we want? Let's decide what the winner gets. Maybe they come on the show with us and talk about the experience and what they learned for a little segment or something.
I'll give them some pulse X. How much
go.
is a lot? Or how much is a little? I don't even know yet. I can't even remember. Like $1 million?
10,000, right? And it's like 4 cents.
I'll give away $1 million. I'll give away $1 million pulse X to the winner.
Right. There we
I
go.
will.
So the competition is going to continue then until at least Pulse X comes out then, right? Because then we can pick the winner when Pulse X comes out.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, Pulse X will be out before 90 days. We're gonna do 90 days.
Perfect. This will be good. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna add on some weight over this period of time?
Yeah, I'm gonna be moving in with you. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dropping. Hopefully, hit 250 by the in the next week or two, and then I'm gonna start cutting, and I'm gonna be like shredded, get very very lean.
We could split the food costs.
Yes,
because I eat less than you too. Probably.
Yeah, just substantially less than I do. I had like a pound of meat for breakfast plus 4 eggs and like something else. I dropped 222 pounds, I'm assuming, a few years ago, while after a very stressful time losing job, not eating and working out properly. Felt like crapola.
He's just saying like his test went down and he felt the negative effects from it. And of course, more what I'm talking about is the people's baseline tests can be deceiving. Your baseline test can be. My baseline test was very low. I've always been a fucking nutcase. Like,
have you? I just had a buddy text me this morning. He texted me and he's like, "Hey, just got my blood work done again for his test levels, and this is the last 4 times. So probably over the last year and a half, it was 1,400 for. This is just for his total test. Same dose of testosterone. 1,400, 1,000, 1,100, 560. Same dose of testosterone.
What's the frequency?
I think he's doing twice a week.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
But it's like all over the place.
Oh no, dude! I'm telling you, it takes so much difference. If you do it 4 times a week, it'll change your life.
I think
if he splits that up 2 more times, it wouldn't be so off.
You think he'll make? Because I do mine 3 times a week, but most people who are on TRT only do it twice a week.
Yeah, but some people aren't so sensitive to up and downs because clearly he's worried about this stuff if he's getting tested so often. Yeah, which probably means he's emotional. Which probably means he notices his test is too high.
He's in the community, like he's on the podcast with me, so he's texting me just because we talk about shit.
What is he curious about? What is he curious about mostly about that? The range, why it's different on this day rather than that day?
He thinks the tests are probably fucked up in some way because he's like, yo, this is the 4th time I've got my shit tested, same dose. Total test came back at so this is the 4th time he tested it or 5th time he tested it. So it might be over the last 2 years. So weird. I've pulled 1,400, 1,000, 1,100, 560, and now 719. But nothing's changed, and he doesn't know exactly why it is. But he's just like giving me information because he knows I appreciate that kind of stuff. Dude, I plan to move to Florida soon.
I do too. Sam's in Florida, and I'm going to be going down there at some random day. I'm going to call him, and I'm saying, dude, I'm packing my fucking car up.
Yeah,
I'll be like, okay.
Get me from the airport.
No, I'm driving, dude, because I have to bring the shields for the backdrop in the little. We're gonna, if you don't mind, I'll put the shields on the wall, and we can put a desk in front of them, and we'll both be in the shot. And,
yes.
And I want to bring all my equipment and shit, and the lighting and everything, and if you look, I got a bunch of freaking lights and stuff. Like not that one, but the one behind.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of them over there, and they shine on the backdrop. But then there's a window right here, so that gives me most of the lighting because the window lighting is way better than the.
I changed my lighting up just the other day because somebody was saying how instead of doing like the beauty type of filters where you have the lighting directly in your face, like a lot of women might have, to have more of like lines or more of like a masculine type of look, you could put it more on one side, so as you can tell, like I have a light over here on this side to create that so that I have more shadowing on this side, and the light on this side is actually aiming away from me. just minor details. Nobody else is gonna fucking.
After I get done with you, you're always gonna have a cool background. 'Cause I'll just leave some of my shit with you.
I'll put it up on the wall there.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should bring things in closer, so it's like just 2 feet off my back, and then just have it right here on either side of my head.
Yeah. Any other questions in the chat? It's Easter, so I'm probably gonna wrap up here shortly. Everyone hit the like and smash the like, and just know this fitness challenge is gonna be real. Me and Sam are gonna be moving into each other, moving in with each other at some point. It's gonna be much easier to document each other and write down plans when we're both together. Much easier, because we could just go to the gym together, and then all we have to do is just record in between sets, and then we'll be resting anyway. And then you won't have to be like, will you take a video of me?
What is be more masculine, Russ? Russ says, yeah, be more masculine, Sam. What does masculine mean to you? Because it sounds like it's an ego thing for you a little bit. Which is
he didn't mean that.
I mean, I don't care if it does. It's him if that's what you want, man. I don't know.
He's 250 pounds of absolute twisted steel. I would run away from this man if I saw him. That's masculine enough for me.
I see the looks. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm being masculine. I don't know.
What is that? So there's this whole idea of
some people think being masculine's like fucking a bunch of chicks, and like I would disagree. I think that's kind of desperate, to be honest. I'm not desperate. Like I think it's kind of like it's whatever you're focused on in the moment, right? So like some people be focused on like dating and stuff. They're gonna be thinking about being masculine, but at the end of the day, it's like being masculine is all about pursuing your dreams no matter what, and no one in this world can stop you. That's what being masculine is. It's doing what you're going to do no matter what, doesn't matter what anyone says. There's no one that can come into Sam's life or mine to tell me to do anything different than I'm doing. Not one person to pay me. It's not one person that could say anything to sway me from what I'm doing, because I have more potential energy moving in this direction than they probably do in that one.
Sometimes I miss it. If it was sarcasm too, it's 100% missed in text. So
yeah,
if
we're gym rats.
Yeah. Like you might miss that in text without being in person, having like the voice and
gym rats are just like, Clearwater's very nice. I'll see everyone down there because I guess I don't give a fuck. Sam's my bodyguard, paid bodyguard now. Give him hex per day to just like stand near me. But yeah, so Sam, we're gonna be I'm doing this, dude. I'm committing to this. Like I want you to know that I'm committing to.
Well, I let you know, like
I want to know. No, but I'm telling you, I don't need a fucking. I don't need none. I could just sleep on the couch. Dude.
No, there's definitely a sofa, but at the same time, there's also room. My buddy's
long term, yeah. Like I'll probably do like a 2 week or like a week, or like if we're getting along real good and content's just blowing, like whatever, I'll stay. But if we'll probably learn a lot, regroup, have a couple weeks of content or whatever, and then have a better plan about how it would look. And I don't want to drop all the alpha on these guys about what we're doing behind the scenes. Actually, I'm not dropping any of that alpha yet. I'm not dropping any of that.
We'll have some awesome future stuff coming in.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff that we're bringing to the Hex community that I can promise you no one's even gotten near in this community. As far as it's just different genre of stuff. Like everyone's into marketing in this way, that way, and we're like, yeah, we know a bunch of bodybuilders. Let's all do bodybuilding stuff because we know how big that market is, and it's if we can gain popularity at all, our physiques are good enough to be noticed in that industry. It's true, Sam. They are. Like I've gotten compliments, and I'm not saying this from a braggy way. I'm just saying this from like a marketing way. Like I've gotten people ask me all the time to model stuff, so I can tell like I have the look that some of those guys wouldn't mind as far as like my physique. So yeah, we are accepted into that community because that community is only accepted by physique. Yes. Pretty much. It's just a physique. It's like, I don't care what you take, do, say. What does your physique look like? Also, there's an analytical part to it too. Like as you get older, you don't have to be jacked all the fucking time. Like, you get a little older, you can slim down more and stuff.
There's a saying that I think it was Ben Franklin used to coy, which was like, I don't remember the exact verbiage if anybody in the comments knows, but I think it was Ben Franklin, and it was a bunch of his friends got together that were in different areas of business or life. And they'd get together once or twice a month and they would talk about things to mutually help each other grow in some way, whether GRC is going through something and because we're talking and he's sharing it with me, that just helped clarify something. Or I have an idea and talking it out was like, oh, I was able to make it much better by feedback that he gave me or somebody else gave me. That is what I want to bring together with what we're doing, is a group of people who are willing to go through and actually help everybody else grow in that process. Because I personally would much rather be friends with people who are super successful, who are wanting to achieve more in their life. And that's what I'm trying to bring together. Whatever that word is that Benjamin Franklin actually used to describe that group or that mastermind or whatever, that's a current vernacular people are using to put this together and have people that are like-minded trying to achieve more. That's exactly what I want. Those are the people I want to be around.
This is a good morning right here. Sun gazed, stretched, sprinted, volleyball, played guitar all morning at the beach in Miami. Sounds good to me. There was this guy in the Twitter space saying you can directly predict or know someone's quality of life by like what they do in the morning and like whether they go on walks and like get sunlight, and like there's a couple different variables, but like if you check like 2 or 3 of those variables, and I checked them all, it was like go on walks in the morning. I'm like, yeah, I always go on walks in the morning. You know what I mean? Like to the gas station or whatever. Like, but it's kind of far. And I could
so instead of taking the car, you just walk.
I walk.
Go.
Because I'm doing Twitter space anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm just walking and talking and then
letting your cardio down, fresh air.
And guys, for anyone who wants, like I'm gonna be starting to do Twitter spaces in the morning from 4 a.m. to launch of the show. I'm gonna try to have and another alpha hit right here, guys, really big alpha here. If you change the settings in your Twitter for the Twitter spaces, you can actually do it properly from your PC. I know no one knows how to do that. I've only seen a couple of people do it. It's very hard to run Twitter space from your PC, but it is doable in the settings and you can do it easily. I'm going to get with Bullish behind the scenes because somebody was telling me about this earlier, and I want to be able to do it from my computer so I can keep my phone free. Because most of the time, the reason I have to leave is because, I don't have 2 phones. But, yeah, anyway, I want to show one more thing before we wrap up.
I want to say the 3 o'clock. So at 3 o'clock, assuming Motley the investor over on Twitter and my buddy are going to be on. My buddy is brand new to Hex and brand new to Pulse Chain and Pulse X. He's going to be on at 3 p.m. EST, assuming that people are not like distracted by Easter. We will be on at 3 p.m. this afternoon. If you will, after you've already eaten, you want to like chill back and watch what we're doing in terms of onboarding, you should check out that show. It's going to be on YouTube at just Stolt, I think /Stolt, I believe is the channel, and it'll be over there as well. So what was the thing you wanted to show real quick? Because you're going to be going hanging out with family shortly, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm about to be wrapping up. But I want to show everyone we have a channel sponsor. Now, it is official that they are the channel sponsor. But I'm making a super cool fucking video in the middle of the show. So it's not like where it's going to be yet. But I want to show you guys something. First of all, this is my Instagram. Anyone who has an Instagram and would like to follow me, I'm pretty active on Instagram. I try to be pretty active. It kind of shows you a little bit more of like what I do for fun and shit. I mean, I don't do this shit anymore. This dude was crazy. I ain't that dude no more. I'm sorry, but like, I'll still do this. I'll still surf. And I'll still do backflips, and I'll still surf some more. But not the rock climbing, I think my days are done. Here's a funny video that I made a long time ago.
Turn the sound on so people can hear. Or maybe not, because then you might get copyrighted, actually.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn the sound on. But it's the Avengers. Yeah. It's the Avengers. And the whole video is in reverse, so you had to like run backwards. It was kind of funny. Yeah. Anyway, but this is the picture I wanted to show. So somebody bought 6 shields yesterday, or they got sent out yesterday, I guess. So these are the shields that are behind me. Obviously, I don't give a F rat's butt if you buy this stuff. It's rather expensive, but if you're rich and you want cool shit and something to put an extra spin on your streaming room, you can also buy neon for the outside, so it looks actually really cool. I don't have any of that yet because I need to go grab some from his place. hopefully. But yeah, he's going to be coming out with other designs and stuff as we move forward. And actually, I'm trying to get him to make like something a little smaller that's a little cheaper because like the price point's kind of I mean, we're in a bear market. Everyone's being a little stingy right now for damn sure, including myself. But if you use code GRC50, you get $50 off if you want to buy it. Again, I understand if you don't have if you don't have your hex staked and ready, like this should not be your top priority at all.
And there might be some cool things coming in the future, so stay tuned on that front as well. Maybe new products.
Yeah, so I'll be working a lot with Shield Masters just as a sponsor. It's not a crypto company at all. It has nothing to do with crypto. He just makes super dope designs of all sorts. I forgot to look at his thing. I do want to look at his thing one more time because it is. I mean, I think what he does is fucking sick. Everyone can have their opinion.
Well, clearly, GRC's actually speaking from experience because he had those far before he talked to his buddy about like actual sponsoring a show because you had those shields in the background.
Oh yeah, before I even started tweeting about Hex. Well, no, like maybe like right after I started, but we can. But if you look, like he sends these to all these big companies for free to see if he can get any. But like, there's the Joe Rogan one. He sent that to Joe Rogan. Slide into his DMs for a shield. There's your boy with the Captain America shield chilling out. And for any company, basic company, here's the Pulse X one. This one's also, you can use the promo code. But yeah, so he does really good work. I mean, at the end of the day, like you can buy these two. These are a lot cheaper. This is just like little steel cutouts. If you want to buy those, just DM him or just go to his website. But like even stuff like this, like if you want to get real wacky, like that'll definitely cost you more than any other shield though. Like that's just like hand painted. So that's pretty fucking crazy, to be honest. And let's see any other cool ones that I like. The Halo one, the Baltimore Ravens one. That's when the original Hex one came out. Let's look. One more cool one. Yeah, and these are the neon. So if you have your room, you can whip it with the neon.
Wait, so does he build that into it with a cord you can plug in?
It has a Velcro thing and a little battery pack on the back, and it lasts a really fucking long time. You just have to replace the batteries. But yeah, it's just like a $5.
He should tell him to do a little video and post it on his thing of what this is and what the back looks like so that you can show it in the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. He's seen the show for sure. And that's him right there behind the shield. And this is Lamar Jackson. You know Lamar Jackson, the Ravens. He's a super famous Ravens quarterback. He's basically he's the MVP of the NFL quarterback.
Oh, I don't pay attention to football at all, but
I know. But he's the guy who's in our city.
Oh, and he made it for him or something?
Yeah, he made it for him, and he danced around with it. But this dude is literally like a fucking major celebrity. Like, if you go to his let's go here. Oh no, let's go Lamar Jackson. This is the guy that was dancing with it, and he's got 3 million subs.
Oh, dope.
Oh no, that's not Lamar. That's fucking not Lamar Jackson, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. He just posts different stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so guys, check that shit out. It's not a huge deal. Obviously, we're just getting started. I want to work with him and integrate this community and whatever cool shit can be made that people like. But again, I don't want to push anything that anyone would have to buy in any way. I don't, it has nothing to do with that really. I'm just trying to create a business that I love and move forward. And having friends that you work with is much better than having random ass people that you work with. Trust me. I've known that dude since I was in 6th grade. And we've talked basically every day since. And Sam, I've known for 5 years straight, other than a couple months in between. So guys, keep your nice friends close to you. You can't trust anyone. New website coming soon on Shield Masters too.
Check out the links down below if you want to follow on Twitter, if you want to follow on Instagram. Yes. All that stuff will be down below. Other YouTube channels. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Stop back at 3 o'clock or not, and you can watch the replay. Anything you guys find interesting related to the fitness challenge or ideas related to the fitness challenge, let us know on Twitter because we're going to be putting that Telegram out soon on Twitter, probably in that post and in a couple other spots.
How many people should we let in the Telegram? I feel like we should cap it at a number.
6.
No. It has to be over 20.
So maybe 100. I don't know. 100.
We'll do
people sounds
50,
good.
and if it blows off top, we'll go to 100. But I ain't
Yeah.
going over 100. That's fucking a lot.
It's
So
a
right
lot.
now, we're capping it at 100 for the Hex Telegram group. So once I drop it, you might want to get in there because RH reposted that last tweet. So he'll probably, that means everyone gets excited about the shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So guys, we'll talk to you later. This is Crypto in the Morning. Sam Stoll, GRC, Jim Rat Crypto. We're coming at you live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. We don't miss days, guys. We are going hard as shit, and we will be covering Pulse Chain every single day as it comes out to make sure that we can all move forward confidently, not get scammed, and talk it out so there's not a lot left in translation.
Peace. Appreciate
Peace
you guys.
out.
Later.
Peace.